Tattern along with Joe Falsetti. Welcome to another Comcast telecast of a high school football game this afternoon. It's the Riverview Raiders laying out the welcome mat for the Centurions of Greensburg Central, and this is indeed a key game in coming playoffs 2 weeks from today. So this should be a good contest. Both teams are in the playoff hunt. Joe, when you look at the standings, and there was only one game played involving Eastern teams. Last night, it was the game that we had on Friday night with Clarendon, defeating Springdale 22-20, a game that could have gone either way. Look at the standings, and you see that Riverview on top, spotless at 5-0 overall. They are 8-0. Greensburg right behind it, 4-1. Of course, there are some tiebreakers depending upon if Greensburg should win here this afternoon. Both would be 5-1. Going into the final weekend of the year, Riverview would be up at Leechburg, and Greensburg would take on Wilkinsburg. So that's a lot for Greensburg.
I talked to Jake Kappa just before coming up to the booth. I said, Jake, are you nervous? He says, what the hell are you asking me for? You know I was nervous facing Wilkinsburg. What do you think I'm like going against this team?
And that was a 55-0 round. Pre-game show brought to you by Caputo Chiropractic, located on 5th Avenue in Arnold. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for the two teams here today, Joe.
The starting lineup at quarterback, John Reese. The running backs are Jason Dent and Brian DePalma. The wide receiver is Matt Tuno, who also does the punting, and along with Tad Conlon. The tight end is Mike Stango. The tackles are Ryan Hall and Josh Kickish. The guards are Craig Giddick and Brad Kilkiri, and the center is Justin Lochner. For the Raiders of Riverview at quarterback, Jeff Kappa. Ben Ertlejack at one of the halfbacks. Tailback is Steve Dapra. Fullback Justin Graham. The ends are Jason Kappa and Charles Valisario. Tackles are Justin Papa and Jeremy Dujak. Theo Facaris and Rich Walsh of the...
Coming into the game, as we mentioned, overall Riverview at 8-0, Greensburg Central at 5-2-1. This is a school, Joe, that was at one time AAA. Yep. They dropped to AA. Now they're down to single A. And we always remember the Eastern Conference as a conference dominated by two teams, Duquesne and Clarendon. Clarendon eliminated rather early in the year, midway through, I guess, weekend.
Greensburg Central Ball Club, Bob, known as the Centurions. They have a long history of successful football out there. In fact, the athletic director at Jeanette went there from Greensburg Central, which was way back in the early 60s. In any event, we can't worry about what happened in the 60s. This is a big one here this afternoon, and good crowd on hand. Another gorgeous afternoon, and we got some real...
Break now for Caputo Chiropractic. We'll be right back. Sunshiny day here at Riverside Park in Oakmont, and we have a list of the officials as well. The referee is Larry Croston, the umpire Claire Schaefer, the linesman is Mike Raich, the line judge Bob Russell, and the back judge is Joe Cantnice. With the white and across the way, Greensburg Centurions in the white with the red trim. Pre-game show has been brought to you by Caputo Chiropractic, located on 5th Avenue in Arnold. The rest of the Eastern Conference over the weekend has Leechburg playing at Duquesne. That's a 1:30 start. Sarah Catholic plays at Wilkinsburg, and rather unusual to have three games. Teams that host games on Saturdays, Riverview, Duquesne, and Wilkinsburg happen to be the home teams this weekend. And last night, either way, they would have played at Clarendon and Springdale. That would have been a night game either way, at Clarendon or at Springdale. Tough luck for Chuck Wagner and his group. And boy, Joe, that field goal.
They lost the game by 2 points and 2 inches. That field goal was a couple of inches from going through the uprights, and loses the game 22-20. The Dynamos, had they been able to get that 3 points and win it 23-22.
I believe Greensburg has won the toss and
they have deferred, I believe.
All right, they will kick off Yeah.
Bob, check that number 79 out there. High Conlon for the Centurions. He looks about 6'8", 325.
273.
Am I?
273
He's
pounds.
listed at 273. He looks every bit of 300.
So the Raiders will receive the kickoff, and Greensburg will defend the goal to our right when we return here to Riverside Park for the opening kickoff. You know, we show you camera shots like these because high school football is such a tremendous family affair. Everybody wants to come out and watch Johnny play football, whether it's a 2-year-old brother or sister or whoever. And they're here today. This is a nice-sized crowd at Oakmont. It's a game that means so much.
How about a couple of our good buddies in the coaching ranks, Bob? Joe Noncheck pulls an upset over Woodland Hills,
And then
14-12, and then that tough ball game with Frank Rocco, his team losing to North Allegheny by 4, 42-38. My goodness.
tough one indeed. Greensburg's Wishtosh will kick off. And the wind, by the way, is gusting left to right here. So Greensburg will take advantage of the wind. Wishtosh, who wears number 22, has the ball teed up. Dapra, Tamburo, and Ben Ertlejack are the receivers, with Dapra right down the middle. Dapra, a junior on this team, and
Ertlejack, a sophomore, I believe. Bob.
right, Ertlejack, a sophomore. So Wishtosh approaches the football, a bouncer taken by Belisario at about the 22. 25, 30, 35, up to about the 38-yard line where the tackle is made by Bob Lawrence and make that Blaze Cambruzzi. So the ball is spotted at the 38-yard line for the Riverview Raiders. And it'll be first down for our localites here, moving from right to left. Depra, the right half, the fullback is Graham, the left half is Ertlejack, and it goes to the fullback, or excuse me, goes to Dapra coming around the left side. No gain on the play. Tackle made by Brian DePalma, and DePalma came up real quick from the linebacker slot. So no gain on this first run from scrimmage for the Raiders. Just underway. Raider receivers looking back at the quarterback will not be looking into the sun. High formation. Dapra. No, it's Kappa throwing the football intended for brother Jason out near midfield, and it goes incomplete. So third down and 10 for the Raiders. Sluggish start here for Riverview. This is a big Greensburg team, and one that has lost, believe it or not, its only section game to Springdale. So this Greensburg team has been able to beat
And
Duquesne and Clairton.
we just got a glimpse of Coach Kappa. Yeah, he is telling the truth, Bob. He is nervous pacing the sidelines.
This is a big ball game for the squad here. Ertlejack flanked to the right. Kappa back. He's going to throw the screen. It is caught by Belisario.
Oh.
Belisario is going to go out of bounds, and he will lose a couple of yards in the play. At about the 36-yard line, Mark Herbert up there to make the play for Greensburg, and they are marking the football at the 36. It'll bring up a 4th and 12 for the Raiders.
One tackle there, Bob. Had he been able to break that one, he might have gone from 10 or 15 yards. But give the Centurions credit. They've played a good defense on this first series.
Brian DePalma's back for the punt. Belisario to punt the football, and it's over his head. Belisario is going to race all the way back into the end zone. He's going to take the safety. And Greensburg very quickly has gone up 2-0 on the high snap over the head of Belisario, and very quickly back there is an apologetic Andy Flaherty, but Greensburg has come on the scoreboard with a 2-0 lead.
Well, I guess when you're chasing the ball, as was the case there, Bob, your first impression is to get on it and cover it. And that's exactly what Belisario did, but he did have plenty of time to be able to pick it up and kick it out of there. But, well.
And it's one thing that your, of course, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, I guess, but your linemen have to wait a few seconds before going downfield. The worst that would have happened would have been a penalty on the play had he been able to still get the punt off.
Well, once they saw that ball went over the head of the punter, why, I don't know that they would have gone downfield. In any event, the Centurions pick up a safety. They lead 2-0, and they'll get the ball here as the Riverview Ball Club will take the free kick here, and they're going to kick it off with Belisario again.
Belisario will kick off from the 20, and let's see how far this one goes. He's got a pretty good leg, as we've indicated earlier in other telecasts. And here's Belisario kicking against the wind, fielded at the 32 by De Palma, and De Palma cuts to his left. Tamburo is going to bring him down. Tamburo had an assist on the tackle by Bob Myers. And the Greensburg Centurions now with a football first down and 10 at their own 48-yard line, and a 2-0 lead on the safety. Flaherty's getting a lot of support on the sideline from the team to say, Andy, don't worry about it. We're still in the ball game. No problem. Everybody will make a mistake once in a while. Quarterback for this ball club is John Reese. Reese with 2 setbacks. Reese throws. This one is caught inside the 45-yard line, and a first down all the way down to the 40-yard line. Caught by Tad Conlon. For the Raiders, it was Jeffrey Kappa on the play, along with Justin Graham, and this play got him 12 yards to the 40-yard line and a first down. So the game's first down on Greensburg's first play from scrimmage. Now they've got Conlon out wide to the right. Up the middle, the ball is handed off to Jason Dent, and Dent springs ahead for about 10 yards. It'll be awfully close to a first down, and I believe the indication is that they have a first down. Now they will stop the clock and bring the chains across. Jason Kappa defensively there for the Raiders on that play. An official timeout. This would be 2 successive first downs for Greensburg. Right on the nose of the football. First down for Greensburg, just over the 30-yard line. Dent is the lone setback for quarterback John Reese. Reese will look to throw. Now goes up the middle. Reese down to the 20. Has another first down. Unless his knee hit it in front. Zach Zarimczyk makes the defensive play. And he's down to the 20-yard line. It'll be second down and about a half a yard or so to go. We'll call it 2nd and 1. So they have chewed up so far about 31 yards on 3 plays. Pretty close to it anyway. 2nd and 1. Up to Dent. Dent struggles. Justin Graham for the Raiders, along with Jeff Kappa. And it rests right on the 20-yard line.
They're going to be a little bit short, Bob.
So it now brings up 3rd and inches.
Very close to the first down. Third down now, about 6 inches.
Here's Reese over center. Reese with a man in motion. And he carries for the first down to about the 15-yard line. Graham, assisted by Jason Kappa on the tackle. And it's marked at the 15, another first down for Greensburg. Boy, they came prepared to play, I'm telling you.
They sure did. No wonder Jake Kappa mentioned to me earlier outside the dressing room out there that he was nervous, and I can see why.
Greensburg with a first down. It goes to DePalma. DePalma down to about the 12-yard line. Better make it the 13. Tackled on the play by Justin Papa, along with Rich Walsh. A gain of 2 on the play at the 13-yard line, 2nd and 8.
2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8.
That's the first play, Bob, that they've held in the short yardage.
Dent and DePalma, the setbacks on 2nd and 8. Reese takes the snap, keeps the football on the option play, goes around the side, shakes a tackler, and is finally driven out of bounds by Dapra.
Right at the 5-yard line.
And it appears close enough for the first down. It might be a 1st and goal.
Well, they almost had him back at about the 10 or 12-yard line, Bob, but he was able to turn the corner and get down to the 5. And
well, it's actually spotted Joe at the 6, so it's 3rd and
1.
Yeah, very close to the 5, but they've got it officially, I guess, at the 6. We have an injured. No, we don't. Beg your pardon. Thought I heard one of the officials with a whistle. 3rd and 1, actually less than a yard. Reese over center. Gives to DePalma, who goes in for the first down inside the 5.
Appears to be a first down for the Centurions.
Randy Gilbert for the Raiders.
Randy Gilbert and Jeremy Dujack.
Gilbert, by the way, coming out of the game. 1st and goal now at the 4-yard line for Greensburg. First quarter, 2-0 score. 7:13 to play in this period. In the backfield now is Steve Wishtosh at left half. Pass over the middle, batted down by Dapra. Boy, too bad there wasn't a little bit closer to him. That had interception written all over it.
Might have taken a shot at the interception. Could have gone about 102 yards. Oh, that'd have been lovely.
So Greensburg Central now with a 2nd and goal from the 4. And this is something that they can do effectively, and that is pass from the point of where the snap is taken. Here it goes up the middle to DePalma. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. So a 4-yard scamper gives Greensburg an 8-0 lead.
Well, you know, Bob, in a way, I guess maybe we're going to find out just exactly how good the Raiders really are. I don't think they've ever been behind all year long, but they're going to be behind at least 8-0, perhaps 9-0 here as they get set for the extra point try with Steve Wishtosh.
John Reese on the hold, keeps the football, fires, intercepted, and dropped. Erdeljack made the defensive play, but nonetheless, the score will remain Greensburg Central 8 and the Riverview Raiders nothing. So we're going to take another break, folks, and we shall return when the Raiders receive the next kickoff. Get the Oldsmobile. Riverview's cheerleaders trying to stimulate this ball club on here with a nice crowd. Senior day, and they had all the seniors lined up on the near sideline for the players, all involved in the football program, all acknowledged. And Joe, it took about 5, 6, 7 minutes, and it was completed in an orderly fashion. Congratulations, Comcast's Orchids today to Riverview for Senior Day, done very well. Very well.
I almost thought for a minute, Bob, that you coordinated the whole thing. They got out of there so fast and everything went so well.
Wichita will kick off here for Greensburg, 8-0. In favor of Greensburg. Here's a kick fielded by Belisario at the 22. Belisario goes up and across the 35-yard line where Blaise Cambruzzi makes the tackle. And it's at the 38, and if I'm not mistaken, it's just about where they started on the other one.
Right.
So Greensburg went 52 yards in 10 plays and ate up 3.5 minutes on the clock on that touchdown drive. Culminated on the run by De Palma, which followed a safety earlier. The two-point conversion try failed when Erteljack batted the ball down. Almost made an interception on the extra point try. First down and 10 for the Raiders at their own 37-yard line. A sweep to Dapra coming left. Dapra slips and goes down in front of the would-be tackler, Mark Herbert. And all Herbert had to do was just touch him over there and get credit for the tackle. And that's what he did. Gain that time of about 2 yards, 2nd and 8. In all probability, Joe, Kappa's going to have to throw a couple of completed passes here to open up the Centurion defense. 2 yards on that carry. In the background, the building of the Riverview High School. Here is Kappa. Fakes to Dapra. Fires, caught by Jason Kappa. Kappa's going to be brought down by De Palma and driven out of bounds on the far side of the field near the 43-yard line. A gain of maybe 3 or 4 on that play.
That brings up 3rd and about 5.
3rd and about 5 at the 43.
Tell you what, Bob, this Greensburg team, I think, has their game plan, and they have scouted Riverview very, very well. From, of course, the early moments of this ball game, they seem to know exactly what Riverview is going to do.
3rd down and 5, straight T formation. In motion. Here's the pitch back to Dapra. Dapra up to the 45 to the 50. Has the first down. Still on his feet. Across the 50 down to the Greensburg 48-yard line. And a first down, a pickup that time of about 9 yards. On the play, Brian De Palma for the Centurions makes the tackle. And the first down of the day for the Raiders. Sometimes, Joe, it takes a while to get on track. And once you get that momentum going and everything is clicking, all the gears are going in the right spot. Justin Graham's fan club there, and his mom is his biggest fan. Here we go on first down for the Raiders. Kappa gives the ball to Dapra, puts the head down and gets across the line of scrimmage to about the 45-yard line. It's Justin Lochner, number 53. The middle nose guard there who makes the play. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up right on the 45-yard line. Zach Zarimczyk carries a play into the huddle for the Raiders. Tight ends, the tight end is Kappa. Erteljack comes out, Belisario wide to the left. Goes to Dapra. Dapra finds a hole and picks up just a couple of more yards to about the 42-yard line. Tackled on the play by Eric Blazowski and Tony Krantz. 3rd and about 3 for the Raiders at the 41-yard line. First quarter, 8-0. Greensburg Central in the lead.
2 scores, safety and a touchdown with the extra point try being missed.
Here's a gift to Zarimczyk. Zarimczyk has the first down. It's at the 30, at the 20, and wrestled down inside the 15-yard line.
Very
Zach
close to a
Zarimczyk
fast man.
picks up the first down, and the Greensburg youngster who made the tackle shaken up on the play.
And he was close to grabbing the face mask as well.
Tackled on the play by Pat Bradley, 27 yards on that carry. And the Raiders have it at the 15-yard line. You want to call it the 14?
Yep.
Where do we put it, folks? The 14, all right? 14-yard line is where it is. So from the 14, here's a give to, a keeper by Kappa. Kappa hit for a 2-yard loss back at the 16-yard line by Mark Herbert.
Had he been able to break that tackle, Bob, I know he'd have gone somewhere.
So a loss on the play. Let's call it a yard loss, and 2nd and 11 coming up. Just a nose on the other side of the 15. We need one of those patented passes to Ertlejack. And he's flanked wide right. Here is Kappa over center. Kappa on the draw to Dapra. Dapra hit near the line of scrimmage, gets loose, and is now going to be dropped at the 17 for a yard loss. Mike Stango was the first to have him, and then he scored a loose, but then lost another yard of the play. So it is now 3rd and about 12 for the Raiders at the 16-yard line. Trailing 8-0 here in the late moments of quarter number 1. About 1:38 and counting. Here's Kappa on 3rd and 12. He's got a man open. Loose football. Picked up by Greensburg, and I believe they have it. No. The Raiders were able to fall on the football, and it was Jeremy Dujak who fell on the ball at about the 25-yard line. Or is that the 30? It's the 30. So it is now 4th and about 26. 4th and 26 from the 30-yard line.
First down.
Well, the Raiders had the ball at the 14 and have since gone backwards. First to the 15, then the 16. Now they're back at the 30. That was a 14-yard loss.
I can't believe this setup here. 4th down, and they're going for it.
Here's Kappa. Goes toward the end zone, and it is intercepted at the 8-yard line.
That wasn't a very smart play.
Coming back up here near the 30-yard line is Justin Lochner, I believe, or was that De Palma? It was De Palma who returns it to the 30. A 20-yard return on the interception. Was there a flag of the play?
I can't understand that play there, Bob, at all. 4th down and about 25, and they try to make the sticks. I realize the ball was at the 35-yard line, but still.
Clip on the return. It will still be the Centurions football, but
could be that they might have made a mistake, Bob, on the downs. They might have thought it was 3rd down. Believe me, I just don't think that that was the right play there. But then again, what do I know?
15-yard penalty will bring it back to the 15-yard line on the clip. Actually, they're going to mark it from the point of the foul, or they're going to go half the distance.
They're going all the way down to about the, let's see. Well, it's at the 5. They're going to put it at the 7.
Wow.
The clip took place at the 14, half the distance, puts the ball at the 7-yard line. Now we need a turnover, and we'll start a brand new ball game.
I'll go along with that. De Palma and Dent in the backfield for Reese. Reese hands off, and it's De Palma out near the 13-yard line. Belisario was there along with Graham. And Jeremy Dujak as the first quarter has officially come to an end. 8-0. The Greensburg Centurions with the lead. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Well, a big surprise here at Riverside Park in Oakmont. The Centurions of Greensburg Central Catholic leading the Raiders by a score of 8-0. And it was not a touchdown and a two-point conversion. It was a safety, then a touchdown, and the missed try for the extra point. Thus, the 8-0 score in favor of Greensburg Central. They'll have the ball second down at about 4 from the 13-yard line.
By the way, Comcast will finish up its regular season of high school football next Friday night when Valley plays host to Highlands. Both of those teams were losers over the weekend, and both had tough opponents, although Valley's loss was only 14-0 to North Catholic, but North Catholic went without a player who was suspended on the team.
Well, a win next
he was
week.
One of the regulars.
A win next week by either team, Bob, would pretty much erase any bad memories that they have of the '94 season.
Total yardage in that first period, Greensburg Central with 41 and Riverview with a -4.
All right, set to go. It's second down and about 4. The ball at the 13-yard line. Here's a handoff, and going absolutely nowhere this time was Jason Dent, and he was going to be grabbed right at the line of scrimmage. Dujak was there for the stop. It'll be third down now, and let's give a gain of 1 on that play. It'll be third and about 3. Big play here defensively for the Raiders. They could get pretty decent field position if they could hold the Centurions here. Third and 3, the ball at the 14-yard line. Wishdash is split wide, and as we set to go, here is a pitch back and breaks a tackle, gets the first down up to about the 18-yard line. Looked as though they had him, but he got away. And in on the stop was Jason Kappa along with Graham. Rich Walsh also there, and it's going to be first and 10 for Greensburg. And boy, Kappa, the coach I'm talking about, is really steaming. He's in the middle of that huddle, and I'll tell you what, tackling hasn't been very sharp here, Bob.
It has not. They have breezed by a few. They have been faked out of position, and when I say breezed by, I mean they have just literally flown by the runner. I mean, you've got to do something to make him think that you're thinking like he is. First and 10 at the 18 for Greensburg following the timeout.
The game may be seen tonight at 7 o'clock, and tomorrow morning at 10.
All right, we're about ready to go now as the Centurions break huddle. They're up to the line of scrimmage. They have a first down at their own 18-yard line. Back is Reese looking, throwing, and it's caught right at the sticks by big number 85, Tad Collins. Erdeljack ran him out over there as beyond the first down marker, I believe, but there was a flag on the play. Looks as though it might be against the Centurions. Yep, holding is going to go against Greensburg. So the Centurions are going to be hit with a penalty here as they were caught holding. The holding took place at the 17-yard line, so they'll probably go back to about the 8.5. They're explaining the infraction to Riverview. This is taking a little bit longer than penalties normally take. Holding against Greensburg Central, and they'll bring the ball back to about the 8.5-yard line, I believe. Yep, that's where they put it. So it's a big break here for Riverview. It's about first and 20. Looks like first and 20. That's what is indicated up on the scoreboard. So we've got the Centurions now back at about their own 8-yard line as Reese has them ready. They're wide on both ends. Handoff right up the middle. Breaking tackles again was number 42 as Dent. Carried, stopped by Darrell Derringer. So Derringer makes the stop, but after a pickup of about 5, it'll be second down and 15.
He's gone.
High Conlon is wide. Or did he go out of the game?
He's out of
the game. Reese. Hands off and not going anywhere that time, as coming up to make the stop was Jeremy Dujak. So this is going to be a third down now in long yardage. They picked up about 2 on that carry. Third down and about 12. So it's going to be the big play here again that the Raiders are faced with. If they can hold here and get possession of the football, they'll be in decent position to get back into this game. They trail 8-0 on the strength of a safety and touchdown by the Centurions of Greensburg Central. Reese is ready once again. Reese on the keeper. Reese is going to be hit and dropped. Rich Walsh was right there to bust that play up. Helping out was Jeremy Dujak. So the Raiders now in pretty good shape.
Josh Kickish injured on the play a little bit. He's limping off the field. He's the big boy, 273 pounds. He's upset.
He is limping, though. All right, set to go. And back to do the punting is number 25, Matt Tuno. Ertlejack and Tamburo back. There's a good snap. And the kick is going to bounce and roll out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. So a good spot here for the Raiders. They have it first and 10 from the Greensburg Central 47. We'll be back right after this. All right, ready to go now as the Raiders have the ball at the 47 of the Centurions, and the Raiders trailing 8-0. Handoff, here's Graham around the left side, and he gets maybe a yard or 2 on that carry. Mike Stango was there first for the Centurions, a gain of about 1. Let's give him second down and 9. Second and 9. We've got 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And the Centurions so far surprising the Raiders of Riverview, 8-0. So Jeff Kappa has his team ready, and they're set to go. The ends are tight, double setback. Here is Rimsack, and he gets his way up to about the 40-yard line. A gain of about 5 or 6 yards. Brad Shearing made the stop. And it's going to bring up a third and about 4. Third down and about 4 for the Raiders, just outside the Greensburg Central 40-yard line. Graham into the lineup for the Raiders, bringing the play in from the bench. Double setback again as Ertlejack. Slot to the right side. They send Graham in motion. Here's a pitch back to Dapra. He's got some blocking. Dapra at the 40, the 30. Dapra at the 25. Run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Brian DePalma ran him out, but not before Dapra got big yardage. Let's see where they spot the ball inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. So a gain of about 16 yards on that carry for Steve Dapra. Just inside the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Raiders. You knew that play was going to work the minute the pitch out took place because he had some blocking, and with Dapra's ability to run the football, that one looked good right from the get-go. So here we go. First and 10, just inside the 25. Jeff Kappa, double setback once again. Kappa keeps Kappa 20, inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. So a good carry that time, as making the stop was number 53, Justin Lochner, but not until a good pickup of about 6 or 7 yards on that carry. Let's give him a 7-yard gain. Call it 2nd and 3. The ball at the 18-yard line. 7:05 remaining in the first half. Good crowd on hand. Another gorgeous afternoon here at Riverside Park in Oakmont. Same formation. This time it's Belisario over on the slot. Double setback. Jeff Kappa hands off right up the middle, and still driving is Dapra, and he gets down to about the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Big number 75 made that stop. That's Tony Grant. So the first down for the Raiders. The ball is spotted at about the 13-yard line. The Centurions take a timeout, and we'll be back with more high school football right after this. Well, actually, Bob, this is the first real threat by the Raiders. Actually, it's the only time here in the first half that they've threatened at all. They haven't done much up until this point.
They were down at the 14 in the first quarter.
But then they took three consecutive losses and wound up at the 40 or 35-yard line.
And threw an interception on 4th and long. And that's the closest they've been up till now. Now they're at the 12 with the 1st and 10. So both teams in the hunt for the playoffs here. And hopefully the Raiders will come out on top of this when they get a clean sweep through 9 weeks. And Leechburg is their ball game next Friday night.
All right, ready to go. 6:43 remaining in the first half. The Raiders now lining up with their in the eye. Dapra, the tailback. Jeff Kappa hands off. Dapra cuts in. Dapra still going down to the 5. Dapra down to the 5-yard line. A gain of about 7 or 8 yards on that carry. Matt Tuno made the stop for the Centurions. So they're going to be at the 5-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and about 2.
2nd down and 2 for the Riverview.
So the Raiders in pretty good shape now as we're approaching the 6-minute mark in the first half. It's Dapra. Well, let's see. I think they're going to take a timeout here. Yeah, they had that one all messed up, and Coach Kappa is storming out. He's going to get this thing straightened out. I think they had a mix-up in the play calling there, and Dapra went up to Jeff Kappa, who was under center already, and says, let's take a timeout. We don't want to foul things up right now. We're 2nd and 2 at about the 5-yard line.
2 timeouts used by the Raiders in this first half.
Yep.
So the Raiders have 1 left. Greensburg with 2 left.
Well, if it'll get them into the end zone, Bob, that's worth sacrificing a timeout, I would think. Well, I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with Greensburg Central. They evidently have really come prepared for this ball game.
Well, Joe, you know, you're 5-2-1 on the year, which is, you know, successful. You're not going to, you know, go out of this thing with less than a 5-4-1. You've got Wilkinsburg next week. That is Greensburg does. So it's a victory you can almost put in the columns. That's victory number 6. And if you beat Riverview this afternoon, you finish the regular season at 7-2-1.
Heaven forbid. All right, here we go at the 5-yard line. The Raiders have the football. They're 2nd down and a long 2. Split this time is Graham and Dapra in the backfield. Jeff Kappa, the quarterback, hands off to Dapra. He is down to about the 1-yard line. He's going to get the first down. Dapra is going to be stopped by Rob Lawrence, but he gets the first down as the High Collin helped out on that tackle, but the ball at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal for the Raiders. Dapra breaking right through the middle there and gets the yardage for the first down, and they need about a yard for the touchdown. Play coming in from the bench. Grimzak, Dapra. Ready to go. Here's Kappa on the keeper, and Kappa's into the end zone, touchdown. Jeff Kappa on the keeper, gets into the end zone for the score on that 1-yard keeper. Now it's 8-6. He'll probably go for 2, I think.
You take a look at Friday night's game that we telecast on Comcast Cablevision. All the scoring in the first half, 22-20. You kept thinking,
It's going to be
the
an
second
80-point
half,
game.
yeah. But so looking at that last Friday night, and then looking at this situation here, you're down 8-6. You better go for 2 now. You never know what that second half is going to hold.
In spite of the fact they've got the best kicker, I think, around, at least the best kicker I've seen this year. All right, here we go. They're spread out now to try to go for 2. Daper and Rimzak, and let's see, what do they do? Oh, it was tipped right at the last minute. I think that one was intended for number 20, Jack, but it was tipped right at the last minute, and the score just stays as is, 8-6 in favor of Greensburg Central, with 5:22 remaining here in the first half.
Another reminder that next Friday night we finish up the regular season before our coverage begins in the playoffs. Next Friday night, Highlands at Valley wraps up the regular season telecasts of high school football. Then we're into the playoffs, and should be an interesting next couple of weeks to come. So be tuned in for that one. Highlands at Valley next Friday night at 9 and Saturday morning at 10.
All right, Bob. Well, Dapro, who has been averaging all year long a little better than 7 yards a pop, is down on his average. But anybody else, I think, if they can average 4.8 yards a carry in a ball game, you think they're doing outstanding. Well, Dapro has done so good this year that 4.8 isn't quite good enough. That's what he's got. 48 yards and 10 carries in this game here this afternoon. Set to go. Belisario kicking off. Long one all the way down to about the 3-yard line. Taken down there and coming up the field with it is number 44. That's Brian DePalma. And he's going to go all the way. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Jack took a lunge at him but didn't quite get him, and no flags anywhere. Boy, they had that one set up. My goodness. Brian DePalma took it at about the 3 or 4 yard line, went to the right sideline, and then scampered into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, the official scores here say it was 95, but it's still 6 points, Joe, no matter how you look at it.
That's right, exactly. But it seemed like he did go inside the 5-yard line to take it, but in any event, 95 yards or 97, as you say, Bob, really doesn't matter. They got the touchdown, and boy, the Centurions bounced back quickly following that Riverview touchdown, and Greensburg takes a timeout and will return with more high school football right after this. Well, they're going for the kick now, Bob, to force 2 possessions. Steve Wishdosh, there's the kick. It's up, and it is good. It's just barely made it over the crossbar, but it is good, and it's a 15-6 ball game in favor of the Centurions from Greensburg Central Catholic.
Well, in the Belisario family, that would have been known as a wimpy extra point, but all jokes aside, the Raiders have a lot of ground here to make up. And they say a lot of ground. Joe just mentioned it's going to take 2 scores to tie. You've got, even with a touchdown and 2 points tacked on, it's
still you're going to be 1 point short.
You're going to be a point short. So as it stands right now, the Raiders trail by 11.
They trail by 9.
I'm sorry, by 9.
15-6.
Trail by 9, 15-6. Boy, I'm thinking 16.
Well, after that cold night you had last night, Bob, anything's possible.
Yeah, freezing of the brain. So the Centurions on that 95-yard touchdown return lead in the game, 15-6. Once again, Wishdosh will kick it off. Tamburo, Jack are the flankers with Dapro right down the middle.
All right, ready to go. Bit of a surprise here at Riverside Park with the Centurions in control of the ball game from the very beginning. Here's a squibbler, Again, it's been that way. Boy, they better cover it. They do cover it at the 30-yard line. I think that was Graham. Was that Belisario? Yeah, it was Belisario. He was the same guy that took the first two kickoffs. This time, he could not quite control that scribbler, and they'll have it at their own 30. So it'll be 1st and 10, Riverview at the 30.
Pat Bradley of Greensburg racing downfield, try to put some pressure on Belisario as he was nearing the football. So the Raiders, Joe, at their own 30-yard line, trailing now by 9.
Well, they've been behind throughout the entire ball game. So here we go. The eye this time, Dapra, tailback. Here's Kappa, hands off to Dapra. He fakes one man, fakes another, on his feet across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He's a little upset at himself, but he did pick up 6 yards, slipped, and it was dropped at the 36. A gain of about 6 yards on the carry, 2nd and 4.
It was Brad Searing on that tackle, Joe, at the 37.
All right.
Short 5 or a long 4 coming up.
Raiders, they send Belisario. That's Charles Belisario wide. Here's a handoff again. Dapra fumbles. And it's going to be recovered by Greensburg Central. I think Matt Tuno may have it, and he does. Boy, that doesn't happen very often, but Dapra fumbled, recovered by the Centurions at the Riverview 45-yard line. My goodness, nothing going right here for the Raiders this afternoon, but we've got a long way to go. Still 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, you look at the sideline, too many heads hanging low down there. You know, just pick it up, suck it up, and keep going.
All right, here we go. Wide to the right is Matt Tuna, the guy that just recovered that fumble. Hand off right up the right tackle slot that they gained maybe of a yard on that carry, and that's about it, as Jason Dent on the carry, and Kappa, or I should say Justin Papa, making the stop for Riverview. It's a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 44-yard line. Ready to go. 2nd down and 9. Greensburg Central at the Riverview 44. Keeper right up the middle, and he gets to about the 40. A gain of about 4 on that carry. Jason Kappa was there. Jeremy Dujak also there. And what do we have? A timeout at official time. I think there's some. Is there something wrong with the headgear there, a helmet? Well, evidently, whatever it was, it's squared away as we're set to go now with 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first half. They spot the ball at the 41-yard line. 3rd down and a long 6. 3rd and 6. Split wide to the right side is Tad Conlon. Pitch back. And, oh, they throw a long pass. Going to be intercepted. Oh, that's tipped away. Almost intercepting was Ben Ertlejack, but the intended receiver turned defender and knocked that ball away. So it'll be a 4th down here with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Good play by Ertlejack, and an even better play by Tad Conlon, who knocked the ball out of the hands of Ertlejack, who was just about ready to intercept it. So it's 4th down. Tuno is back to punt. There's a snap. High kick, short. Fair catch signaled for, and it's, I think that's Dapra. No, that's Ertlejack back there with the ball at the 20-yard line. So Ertlejack takes the fair catch at the 20, and we've got 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Plenty of time to score. Plenty of time. This would be a good spot, Bob, for, you know, if not into the end zone, a field goal, get them to 9, then after that, 1 touchdown will do it.
Yep.
All right, ready. Ertlejack comes wide to the right. Split backs this time as Jeff Kappa hands off right Right up the middle is Dapro. He gets across the 25 to about the 27. And he's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down as Mike Stango made the stop. So Dapro picks up about 7.
Second down and 3 for the Raiders.
Clock is moving. We're down inside 2 minutes now. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. It's 15-6 in favor of Greensburg Central. Kappa looking. Kappa, he's got a man out here. It's complete. And another fumble. Let's see what happened. I think Riverview got it back. Or did they? No, they didn't. It's recovered by number 53, Justin Lochner. Now on 2 successive possessions, the Raiders have lost the football on fumbles, and that one really hurt because they had the first down. They had the first down and lost it. Now Greensburg in a position here where they're probably thinking 6. They have it at the 33-yard line of the Raiders. Oh, brother, nothing going right here for Riverview in this first half. Reese looking. Reese is going to run the football. He is going to be dropped at about the 27-yard line. I think down there was number 74, Justin Kappa. And he's going to pick up about 7 yards on that carry. Second down and 3. Clock is inside a minute. We're at 58 seconds and counting. Conlon split wide to the left side. Split backs. Reese keeps. Reese is going to be hit and breaks a couple tackles. And he refuses to go down until they run him out of bounds. The personal Ben Ertlejack. It stops the clock, if nothing else. Yep, 44 seconds remaining. It'll be a third down and a long 2. 3rd and 2. Ball at the 25-yard line.
Cannot get over the fumbles. Turnovers here today.
2 in a row. They're usually a pretty solid team as far as turnovers go, but on any given day, anything can happen. And it's happening here this afternoon at Riverside Park in Oakmont. And that flag is really blowing here, Bob. I don't know that you can throw a nice lofty pass with that wind blowing the way it is. Here's Reese. He looks as though he's going to throw. Reese is going to be hit and dropped. What a play by number 52, Rich Walsh, all the way back to the 36-yard line.
Well, there's the play of the game so far.
That's the play of the ball game so far for the Raiders. Well, now they say his knee hit the ground just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 4th down, 20 seconds and counting, and this probably the clock will just about run out by the time they snap the football. We're down to 12 seconds. I don't think they're going to get another snap. I doubt it. They're looking at the clock, watching it go. We're down to 4, 3, 2, 1. The half is going to end with the Centurions on top by a 15-6 score.
We'll be back with halftime, the Raider Band, and statistics right after this. Now, if the football team can come along in the second half, we will erase a deficit of 9 points and come on to score a victory here at Riverside Park. Nice job, kids. Halftime stats brought to you by John's Auto Sales in Natrona Heights. For a good selection of thoroughly reconditioned used cars and trucks, head on over. John's Auto Sales in Natrona Heights. Over 17 years in the business makes John's Auto Sales tough to beat. Round-trip messenger service to Harrisburg is available at John's Auto Sales, where you're invited to come over and check out the price, the warranty, and the service. John's Auto Sales, Old Route 28 in Natrona Heights. The stats here in the first half show each team in with 5 first downs. The net rushing is pretty even, although Greensburg has a 16-yard edge. In the passing department, Riverview has gone to the air twice as much, have completed 66% of their passes. Greensburg 1 out of 3 for 33%. However, Riverview, with 4 completed passes, has only picked up 7 yards. And Greensburg, the one pass that they had completed, good for 13 yards. So the overall yardage, Greensburg Central ahead by 22 at that point. Penalties, Greensburg Central twice for 16 yards. Riverview, no penalties at all. 3 turnovers by the Raiders, including 2 successive fumbles in which they lost. Taking a look at individual statistics for the Raiders, Steve Dapra, 12 carries for 59 yards. Justin Graham had 1 carry, picked up a yard on the play. Zach Zarimczyk, 2 carries. His first was for 27. He has now 33 yards altogether on 2 carries. Jason Kappa, 2 pass catches for 9 yards. Belisario had 1 pass catch that was a -2. So that was the reason for their 7 yards on 3 pass completions. For Greensburg Central, Jason Dent, 6 carries, 21 yards. Brian DePalma, 3 carries for 10 yards. And the damage has not really been done on the ground or in the air. The damage has been the 95-yard touchdown return by Greensburg, which put them a touchdown ahead after Riverview had come back to trail 8-6. So that's the story here at the half, with Greensburg in the lead by 15-6. I'm Bob Tattern at halftime with Joe Falsetti at Riverside Park, where the Raiders trail Greensburg by 9 points. We'll be right back. Just about ready to go now for the third quarter, and the Raiders have got to get something motivated now. For this third quarter, trailing by 9 to Greensburg Central, 15-6. Well, we get our final regular season telecast on Friday night of next week, and that will be Valley hosting Highlands, 9 o'clock Friday night, and a replay Saturday morning at 10. And the Raiders will be kicking off to Greensburg. They deferred after winning the toss in the first half. So the Raiders have got to make up these 9 points and do it hopefully fairly quick. By the way, Kickish has his foot wrapped up, limping noticeably. He wears number 79. He's the big guy, 273 pounds. He's not on the field for the kickoff. He's on the far side, off the field of play for the moment. So Belisario teeing up the football for the Raiders. So here's Belisario with the kick. It's a squibbler picked up at the 27. And immediately going down with a football was High Conlon.
You know, that's a lineman, Bob. He wanted no part of running anything back.
Kickish will play offense only in the second half, is what we have been told. So He'll make his block, and you can, I don't know, we get the camera on him or not. He's the big guy, number 79. Plays on the left side of the center.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he is limping pretty bad.
He's the left tackle. And here is Reese. Reese hands off. And I don't know if there was a loose football there or not. It was either Dent or De Palma, and it turns out to be De Palma. And Jason Kappa, along with Ben Erteljack, combined with Orlando Belisario on the play. And big 79 there, as you see, with his left ankle wrapped, limping toward the ball, toward the line of scrimmage. Tad Conlon is out wide to the left. With the football is Steve Wishdosh. Wishdosh with only a couple of yards across the 35-yard line, hit by Kappa and Zrimsak. That's Jeff Kappa. Third down and about 3 at the 37.
All right, let's hold him here. Well, you talk about turnovers, Bob. 3 by the Raiders and none for Greensburg Central, and that's the reason for that 15-6 score, I guess.
Dent and De Palma in the backfield, and it goes to De Palma. Has the first down, or does he?
No, he may have lunged for it. Well, it depends. If he doesn't get the spot, he may not have it.
Jeffrey Kappa.
He doesn't have it.
Makes the tackle. It will bring up 4th down.
They're going to measure, Bob, but I think he's going to be a little bit short.
If he is, it's only inches, because if you look at the sticks across the way, they've got to get up actually to the white line.
Just about to the white line, and the ball is short of the white line, so we'll see what happens.
But again, this is a ball club that, even though they're up by 9, they can gamble here. They might succeed.
They might just go for it anyhow, regardless. They're not going to make it. They're going to be about 3 inches short. Yep.
Then they got to get to that line, and it's short by just a couple of inches.
I think they're going to go for it. They are. See, in situations like this, if you get a bad snap, that's how you wish you would have never tried it. Well, we don't wish them any bad luck, Bob, but a bad snap here wouldn't be a bad idea. They're going for it.
And they will probably go to the left of center.
I hope it's not a long count that they try to, get them to jump offside.
And the give. And loose football, but it was after the whistle.
They give them the forward progress. They got the ball.
Belisario has the football,
but
forward progress has Greensburg with the first down over the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Centurions at the 41-yard line of Greensburg. 15-6 is the score. Here is Reese with Dent and De Palma as the setbacks. They passed the football over, and it was picked up after it bounced. The ball is being ruled incomplete, but Theo Ficaris was Johnny on the spot. The pass was thrown to Tad Conlon, and he never really had control of the football. It will go as an incompleted pass and bring up 2nd and 10. Third quarter just underway. Greensburg Central at their 41-yard line, and caught it in the field with a fumble by
almost had a break there. Dujak.
Jeremy Dujak was right there, but the ball just bounced up the other way. Now it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12. Back at the 39-yard line.
Well, the turnovers, Bob, certainly favor Greensburg Central. The Raiders have had 3, 2 fumbles and an interception. Greensburg Central, no turnovers yet. They almost had one that time.
Dent and De Palma are the two setbacks for Reese on 3rd and 12. Reese on the option play. And nice play by Walsh.
Well, maybe they need a little something to fire them up, Bob. This good defensive stand might be the thing that will just light up the fire out there and get it going.
4th down and about 16.
Well, we get a good run back here from Tamburo or Ertlejack.
Tuno is the punter, standing at about his 23. Gets the kick away, and Ertlejack will field it at about, and he went out of bounds
at the 29-yard line.
.8:10 to play, 3rd quarter, and we have not seen the score yet in this 3rd period. But the Raiders with a football at their own 29-yard line. Or do they get it closer? Well, it's at 29. We'll mark it at the 29. Jeffrey Kappa over center. Hands it off to Dapra. Dapra hit hard. Spilled on the play by Herbert. And Mike Stango gained about 2 on the play to the 31-yard line, 2nd and 8.
You know, I'm surprised that Kappa's not running or passing the ball a little bit, Bob. He's got a terrific arm. He's pretty accurate.
Kappa brings the team out, ready to go here on 2nd and about 8. Now looking to throw. Kappa has the receivers covered, hits Ertlejack short. Might have the first down near the 40-yard line.
Well, no sooner I ask for a pass, we get it.
Close to the 40, and if he's short, it won't be by much.
He got it.
It's marked at the 40-yard line. And the Raiders have a first down. Just shy of the 40-yard line. Here are the Raiders on 1st down and 10. The pitch back to Dapra, looking for a block. Cuts inside. He's up near the 50.
And a first down.
First down by the Raiders on Dapra's carry. Tackled on the play by Spango. Dent assisting on that play. A 1st and 10 for the Raiders in Greensburg territory at the 49-yard line. The Raiders have got to remember to protect the football when they're running with it. They have lost 2 fumbles already. That, of course, in the first half. Here's a give. Dapra straight up the middle. Dapra is going to be stopped on the play by Justin Lochner. Ball is spotted at the 45, a gain of about 4, 2nd and 6. Timeout on the field. And I believe it's an official timeout or Greensburg, one or the other, but a break in the action, folks. 15-6 in favor of the Greensburg Centurions. Bob Tattern with Joe Falsetti, and we'll be back after this. All right, we're back in play. Some of the people here watching this one at Riverside Park, the sun has been out all afternoon. The Raiders will have a 2nd and 6 when they come out of this one. Up to to the line of scrimmage at the Greensburg Central 45-yard line. Erteljack goes out wide to the right. A fake to Dapra, and the pass, and this one is caught near the 40-yard line. It's Justin Graham who cut the football out of the backfield. Was stopped on the play by Pat Bradley.
It'll be about a yard and a half short, Bob.
It is marked at the 40-yard line, and they've got to get up pretty close to the 38-yard line for the first down. Call it 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1, whichever. Zrimsik and Dapra are the setbacks. Slot to the right. Straight up the middle. Dapra up to the 35-yard line. Picks up the first down. Tackled by Greg Giddick at the 35-yard line. The first 10 and 10 for the Raiders. Clock continues to roll here in the third quarter. Riverview needs a score. Greensburg scored on a safety and 2 touchdowns.
Any kind of a score we're here, Bob.
(15-6) is the score. Capo hands off to Dapra. Going left, has a block. Up to the 30-yard line, and
got 5.
Got 5 on that play. Greg Giddick again on the stop.
And he's hurt, Bob.
There's an injury on the play.
Greg Giddick shaken up, and we have an official timeout.
Dapra is limping also.
So it'll be 2nd and 5.
Dapra is limping, Bob. Uh-oh, that's bad news for the Raiders.
Jake Kappa has not gone out into the team huddle. He's here at the near sideline awaiting Dapra's walk close to the sideline.
Right, he's limping noticeably, believe me.
In the meantime, the youngster being attended to out there is either Mike Stango, 84, or was it Giddick? Okay. And there's movement there on Giddick's part, and he is getting up. So Giddick is okay, and on the near sideline, Dapra is being attended to by one of the trainers. Now, who could this be in our screen?
For the Raiders of Riverview, ball on the 30.
She's very colorful.
Sure. Well, Dapra will not be in the backfield when this play gets underway.
Why did I say she? How do I know it's a she?
That's right. It's Erteljack, Zrimsik, and Graham is wide right. And it goes to Zrimsik, cutting inside, dropped on the play by Mark Herbert. And Zrimsik is up near the 27-yard line.
But there was a couple yards.
And that's going
Better
to
make it the 28.
3rd and 3. Yeah, they're still working on Dapra here on the sideline, Bob. Trying to loosen up that leg. They're in trouble without him, I'll tell you.
Into the game is Belisario. That's Orlando, number 21. And it goes to Graham, and Graham has a first down.
I think he's got the first down. If he's on the other side of that line, depends on the spot. Nope.
Tony Krantz shaking up a little bit on the play, number 75.
He didn't make it, Bob. They pushed that ball back a little bit.
It's at the 25, but they've got about...
they got about 6 inches to go. This would be a good spot for Kappa to just hold on to the football and go himself on the keeper. There it is. All right. Way to go,
Right ahead. Kappa carries down to about the 20-yard line. Picked up 5 yards on the keeper.
Well, Dapra going back in again, Bob, but he's limping a little bit. Of course, he's better limping a little bit than most backs are without a limp.
We have about 3:45 to play in this third quarter. 15-6, Greensburg in the lead. Graham goes in motion. The pitch is back to Dapra. Dapra to 10. Dapra out of bounds at about the 6-yard line.
Oh, brother.
Run out of bounds by DePalma. But a first down for the Raiders. It'll be first and goal for Riverview. So Dapra, who left the game with a bad ankle or a bad leg, comes back, and the first carry he goes in for the first down.
He just went over the 100 mark on that carry, Bob. Dapra 101 yards up till now, and he looked awfully good limping on that last carry, didn't he?
Sure did. It's at the 6-yard line. First and goal. Dapra carries into the end zone.
Nope,
or not.
Quite. Nope, he's right at the goal line.
And shaken up on the play for the Raiders is number 52. That's Rich Walsh.
Well, he better not be shook up because he's the center, Bob. I believe, isn't he?
No, it's Flaherty's the center.
Flaherty's the center. I'm sorry.
Walsh,
well, right at the goal line.
Well, you can't get it much closer than that.
About a foot.
Belisario checks into the huddle.
Dapra coming out.
Zrimsik is coming out. So it's Graham, Belisario, Ertlejack in the backfield. At the goal line, Kappa keeps the football.
He got it. All right.
Into the end zone for the touchdown. 15-12.
2.5 minutes left in the quarter, Bob. 2:36 to be exact.
No sense going for two here, Joe, because they'll go for the one in and get the sure-footed Belisario in there.
They get the one here, and then the field goal could give them the 1-point win.
So Belisario to kick with Charles Belisario holding. And the snap and the kick is up, and it is
no good.
Wide left.
Well,
how many times do you see that happen?
What happened, Bob, was, the snap was a little bit high, and by the time it got down there, why, it threw off the kicker, and consequently, no good.
All right, we're going to take a break. 15-12, the Raiders getting closer. We'll be right back. Quite sure if that was DePalma or not. And it is DePalma. Zach Zrimsik assisted on that tackle, by the way, by Sam Geppert. And so it's marked at the 36-yard line for the Centurions, who have not turned the ball over all day, and I think would like to have one of those about right now. Fourth quarter will be just around the corner.
It's about time that the things even up here with these turnovers.
Here is the quarterback keeping the football hit hard. Nice tackle by Ertlejack, along with Jeremy Dujak, number 70. Ball's marked at the 41, a gain of about 5 of the play, second down, and 5 coming up. Reese with Dent and DePalma in the backfield, and it goes to Dent.
They got it.
Wrapped up real nice by Theo Fakaris. And they give him about a yard. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Big play here.
Well, we can hold him here. We got get some momentum going here in this ball game as we near the end of the third quarter. DePalma and Dent in the backfield with Reese. Reese gives to DePalma, and DePalma
stopped him. All right.
Short
Well, they got about a yard to go.
Or less.
Again.
Carrying the ball.
They probably will.
For the Raiders, Jeremy Dujak on the tackle. Short of the first down, but they might be a little bit more concerned about the Raider defense at this point.
Why would they want to measure this? Why would they want to measure this?
Well, they are.
The guy walking with his dog could see that that's not a first down. My goodness. When it's close measured, not like, well.
They're about a foot short.
Half a yard.
About 9 inches.
They're going to go for it, I think.
Well, I put down a foot, you put down a half a yard, and Bruce says 9 inches.
Well, I think Greensburg's going to get charged with a timeout here, Bob. Yep.
So Greensburg taking a timeout on 4th and a foot at the 45.5-yard line. Comcast wraps up its regular season telecasts next weekend with Highlands and Valley. That game will be seen Friday night at 9 and a replay Saturday morning at 10.
Well, we're a little bit early as we are planning the playoff coverage, but the way it looks now, there's a very good possibility both Pearl and Riverview will be on the playoff schedule with Comcast Cable.
So the Raiders, after winning 8 in a row here, trail by 3 late in the third quarter. 15-12 is the score.
In fact, 39 seconds left, Bob, in the third quarter.
And when we resume play, the Centurions will post their notice here on what to do about 4th and a foot, which appears they will be going for it. So let's see what happens. Here is Reese. Hands off to De Palma and apparently has the first and 10. The middle of the line there with Theo Ficaris, among others. Dujak. First and 10 at the 48.
First down. Ball on the 48. First down, Centurion.
So here is Greensburg out of the huddle now on a 1st and 10 call.
They haven't had a turnover the whole game.
Here's Dent spinning and might have gotten a yard of the play. Jeffrey Kappa along with Jason Kappa combined on the tackle, and let's say a yard. Dujak was also there. 2nd and 9 coming up as the third quarter comes to an end. And they'll just walk on the other side of the 50, and our fourth quarter will soon be underway. So we have another 12 minutes of high school football to come your way here from Riverside Park. And the hometown Raiders need 3 to tie, 6 to go ahead, and pull this one out. They've held Greensburg without a score so far in the second half, and need at least a field goal to tie. But we want to win here this afternoon at home. But a tie wouldn't hurt, Joe. That would still keep them undefeated. And Greensburg, who has lost
1 game, right,
to Springdale this year. It's the only loss in the
on their
conference.
Yeah, right. A tie is as good as a win for the Raiders, and that's a possibility, particularly with a 3-point differential right now at 15-12 in favor of the Centurions. It's going to be 2nd down and about 9 for Greensburg Central on their 49-yard line. All right, here we go.
Well, the Raiders do have the wind in their favor in the fourth quarter.
Of course, the flag is limp right now. It's bigger. Nothing's going right for the Raiders this afternoon. All right, here we go. Reese is ready. Reese, handoff, and fumble. The Raiders got it, I believe.
Well, I've got my
there it
glasses.
is. There's the indication. Who got it?
That was Dujack.
It's Dujack again. This guy's everywhere. Jeremy Dujack.
Jeremy Dujack.
So, the ball at the 46-yard line. Great field position here for the Raiders. They trail by 3 as we are in the fourth quarter. Just one play into the fourth quarter. All right, here we go. Jeff Kappa ready. Split backs. And they send Rimzak in motion. They pitch it back to Dujack. He goes out, back in, out, and in again into the 49-yard line and picks up about 5 yards. Stopped by Matt Tuno. So it's a gain of 5 yards for Dapra. Second down and 5. The ball at the 49-yard line of the Centurions. Good crowd on hand. Very good crowd on hand. Well, I'll tell you what, when you do what the Raiders have done all year long, you're going to attract a good crowd. And the Centurions, I'm sure, brought a good number of people along as well. All right, second and 5. Here is a fake. Jeff Kappa has got his man. His brother got it, and he is going to be run out of bounds. Where do they spot it? Let's see. Well, they spotted it at about the 37-yard line. It's going to be a first down. Kappa, Bob, is a very accurate passer. Believe me, I mentioned during your quarter on the third that I'd like to see him throwing the ball a little bit more. And since then, I think every time he's thrown the ball, with the exception of once, he has connected. So first and 10 for the Raiders at the 37-yard line of Greensburg Central. I formation this time. Dapra, the tailback. He gets it. Dapra cuts in, back out, and still on his feet, and he gets across the 35 to the 34. Tony Krantz made the stop after a gain of about 3 yards on the carry. Could have gone for a loss there, but Dapra, being the runner he is, just fought his way and just was able to pick up some decent yardage. Kickish is back in again for the Centurions, that big number 79 that was playing only offense. He's out there on defense, but he's limping. All right, second down and 7. Ball at the 34 of Greensburg Central. Kappa is ready. Kappa is back. He's looking. He throws. It's intercepted. Oh, my. The ball was in and out of the hands of one person and into the hands of the other, and they got the football, and they run it back to about the 34-yard line. Justin Lochner was the guy that got the ball. He got the tip, really. That is the 4th turnover for the Raiders, and I think Greensburg Central has 1. Well, just when it looked as though things were going pretty well, they've turned, and now it's going to be the Centurions with the football at their own 32. There's a handoff and stopped for very little yardage there, maybe a gain of 1.
Stopped by Theo
Vacaris, Dujack.
Dujack also in on the tackle.
So Brian DePalma gets what, maybe a yard?
About a yard pickup.
Second down and 9. The ball at the 34-yard line. The clock is moving with 9:20 remaining in the ball game. 15-12 in favor of Greensburg Central. Conlon coming out wide along with Matt Tuno. Reese back. Reese looking. Reese throwing. Going to be intercepted by Dapra. Dapra's at the 30. He's at the 25 to 20. Dapra down the sideline. Touchdown. How about that?
He made it.
Oh, my goodness. Steve Dapra. If he doesn't kill you one way, he'll do it another. 40-yard run back on the interception. And the Raiders take the lead. 18-15. Oh, brother.
First time in the ball game that the Raiders have led.
How sweet it is.
18-15 is the score.
Yeah, that's true. It was 15-12. It's 18-15 as Belisario getting set for the extra point try. There's the kick. It's up, and it is good. 19-15. So that takes away the possible tying field goal, and the Raiders lead by 4, and we'll return to Happy Valley right after this.
Well, it is Halloween weekend, and Riverside Park is no exception. Some nice get-ups here. Well, the Raiders lead by 19-15. And they have taken the lead for the first time, and I think all year long the Raiders have never trailed going into the fourth quarter. Riverview with 4 turnovers and Greensburg Central with 2. That one cost them.
Oh, it sure did. There's a squibbler. And it's going to be taken over there by big number 89. And that is Kevin Ratkowski. No, that's High Conlon. And he's going to be stopped at the 37-yard line by Darrell Derringer. So the Raiders have finally taken the lead with 8:43 left in the fourth quarter. They have trailed throughout the entire ball game until Steve Dapra picked off a Greensburg Central pass and ran it back 40 yards for the touchdown. The extra point by Belisario was good, and it's 19-15. The Raiders on top.
Now, of course, that yardage doesn't count with his rushing yards, but he did have over 100 anyway.
Yeah, 114 yards rushing and 40 on that interception. Here's, oh boy, tripped up there by number 74, Justin Papa. Tripped up the ball carrier. Then he got a yard on that as Jason Dent was tripped up. Well, they say he maybe got one if they want to be generous. Yep, let's give him 1 second down and 9.
Well, look for Greensburg to open it up a little bit here, Joe, even though there's 7 minutes plus to play.
A little over 8 minutes.
Is it 8? Okay.
All right, ready to go.
They got to throw it.
Reese. Uh-oh, they jumped off the big number 79. A little anxious. Big number 79, Josh Kickish. I think a little bit anxious on that particular play, and it's going to cost his team 5. It'll bring up a second and 14. Well, maybe things will begin to even up here, Bob. And it's a perfect time for that to happen.
Well, they got to get up to the 47 for the first down.
Seems like the coaching staff of the Raiders has got a little more spring in their legs, Bob, since they took the lead. They're bouncing a little better on the sideline. All up.
First and 14. Second and 14, beg your pardon.
Second down. 14 yards to go. Reese is ready. Reese is back. And there's a quarterback draw, and he's going to get up to the 40. Stopped by Walsh. Jeremy Dujak is also there. So it'll be third down now and about 3rd and 6. Third down and 6 on that particular carry. Well, let's call it 3rd and 5. Big third down play here. Ready to go now are the Centurions from their own 41-yard line. 7:15 remaining in the game. 19-15. The Raiders on top. Here's Reese back, chased out of the pocket. Reese looking, throwing, and caught at the 50-yard line by Cat Conlon. Stopped by Jason Kappa. And number 30, Graham, also there. So, but it's a first down.
I think Riverview called. Did they call a time?
No.
I know they had stopped the clock to move the chains, but I thought they had indicated I don't know if it was an equipment adjustment or not. That inning said we're ready to go.
Set to go. They're wide on both ends as Reese is set. Lone setback. Reese hands off, and down he goes. Dujak was there, and there's another one underneath him. I think that might have been Vaqueris. Yep. Jason Dent got double teamed that time. Vaqueris got him, and Dujak was at the bottom of that stack, so it's going to be a loss of a yard on that one.
We'll call it second and 10.
Second down.
In fact, there was a bit of a loss on that play.
Their timeout. Who gets it?
Timeout.
An official time. Number 74 coming out. That was Justin Papa, Randy Gilbert going in, and we're set to go. Clock begins to move. 6:14 and counting. Ready. Reese with the lone setback. Reese looking, and it was tipped by Randy Gilbert. Big Randy got that arm up there and blocked that one. So, third down now. A little bit better than 10 yards to go. Big defensive play.
Randy kind of glad he got in there,
Sure
taking
did.
the place of the youngster who just came off the field. Yeah, Justin Papa.
All right, we got a third down and long coming up here from the 49-yard line, their own 49, Greensburg Central. Jason Dent in the backfield. He's the lone back. And here, oh, what a play there by number 73, Vaqueris. Oh, Vaqueris tripped up the quarterback right at the line of scrimmage. I think they'll be punting here. At least I think they will. But then again, you never know. It's going to be 4th down and 10. 4th and 10. And Greensburg, I think, going to talk this one over. They may want to go for it.
Well, Joe, we've got a...
All right. We're going to take a timeout. We do. We'll be right back. Don't you dare go away. Bob, I believe they're going to go for it here. I don't know. I have no reason to believe otherwise. They took a timeout to talk about it. I don't think they're going to use up their last timeout and punt the football, but we'll wait and see.
4th and 10.
It's right now 4th and 10. The ball is at the 48.5-yard line of the Centurions. Looks to me like they may go for it. Could be all she wrote here if they miss, but what are they going to do? Well, they're going to go for it. 4th down and a little bit more than 10. All right, here we go. Double setback this time with a wide out to the right side. Here is Reese. Reese rolls right. Looking. Reese is chased by Gilbert. And tipped away over the... What a great play by Ertlejack. Oh, boy. What a big defensive play by Ertlejack as he batted that one away.
And he's hurt.
And he is hurt. Ben Ertlejack might have made the defensive play of the ball game here as the Raiders will take over at the Greensburg Central 49-yard line. How sweet it is.
Ertlejack in that same position where he had that collision with the would-be receiver. He is down at the 35-yard line. And is hurt. Has not moved yet, but they're talking to him. Gutsy call by Greensburg here with 5.5 minutes to play in the game, and they go for it on 4th and 10 at midfield.
They probably figured, Bob, let's go for it. If we miss it and still come up with a good defensive effort, we'll get the ball back. If we make it, we might be able to take it all the way in and take the lead. In any event, it misfired. They didn't make it on the strength of a great defensive play by Ben Ertlejack, and the Raiders will have the football at the Greensburg Central 49-yard line. Ertlejack getting up now. He's on his knees and getting up, and he'll be coming off. Boys, he's getting a hand. You better believe it.
And I'll tell you what, the receiver, Tad Conlon, was down there and could have made the reception. But Ertlejack made a great defensive play to bat the ball down.
All right, ready to go now. It's going to be the Raiders with the football. 5:31 remaining in the game.
Joe, obviously, if you keep the ball on the ground, you're going to run the clock down. But there's also that element of surprise when you know that's what the defense expects you to do.
Well, and on the other hand, Bob, when you play not to lose is generally when you do lose. All right, here we go. Kappa pitches back to Dapra. Dapra is, he's going to break. No, he steps out of bounds. I thought he was, well, he had broken one tackle, but his foot hit the out of bounds mark. Adam was there to make the stop. And Dapra is going to lose about 5 yards. So it'll be second down and about 15 yards to go. He did not step out of bounds according to the official because the clock is moving. It's at 5 minutes and counting.
They're working on Ertlejack here on the near side. You see the trainer.
Greensburg in the second half, believe it or not, they had 16 carries and only gained 30 yards, less than 2 yards a pop. Here is Thrinsack, and he gets about 3 or 4 yards. Justin Lochner in on the stop. Big number 75 also there was Tony Krantz. And they pick up one. It's going to be 3rd and 14. So the Raiders need 14 yards here to hold on to the football. Otherwise, they're going to have to punt it away. This, I believe, was the thinking, Bob, of the coaching staff for Greensburg, that if we punt and do not make it, we've got enough time to get the ball back. And if they hold here, they will get it back. Here's Kappa. Oh, he almost fumbled trying to hand it off. And he's going to be stopped at the 45-yard line, so that'll bring up a 4th down. 4th down, and Riverview is going to have to punt the football. They're spotted at the 45-yard line. Brian DePalmo is back at his own 20-yard line. Balisario is back to punt, standing at his own 34. High snap. Oh, brother. Got a high one up there. It's not going to go very deep, but it's high and taken at the 18-yard line. Boy, there was a pretty good rush on that time, Bob, by Josh Kickish, and Balisario had to step up to get away from him. Otherwise, that might have been blocked, and he didn't get a real long one. Boy, he got a high one. Fair catch at the 18-yard line, and that's going to be where the ball is spotted. And it could very well be the Centurions' last chance to try and pull this one out. They trail 19-15 as the Raiders with a 4-point lead. 3:20 remaining in the ball game. Reese is ready. Reese looking. Reese throwing long pass. And did he catch it? Yes, he did. Well, no, he didn't. All right. Looked as though he had it. But he did not hold on as his back was to us. Tad Cullen. And it's an incomplete pass. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
One thing in favor of Greensburg on passing plays in this quarter, the receiver is not looking into the sun. They're looking away from the sun.
No wind to speak of. All right, 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 18-yard line. Greensburg 18. Reese is back. Reese. And handing off, and they come right up the middle, but they don't get that much. And Brian DePalma gets up near the 25-yard line. It's a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and long. Graham and Jason Kappa there on the stop. Jason Kappa, that is. They'll spot the ball at the 24. 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. 3rd and 4. John Reese marching signals. Reese hands off. They get the first down up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Graham at the bottom of the pile had some help there from number 85, Jason Kappa, and it'll be a first down as Jeremy Dujak getting off from the bottom of the pile there. It's going to be a first down for the Centurions just across the 30-yard line. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. No timeouts for Greensburg Central. That may come into play here before this one's over. Long pass. It might be intercepted, but it was not. Long pass. Good fake, but I'll tell you right there with the intended receiver was Graham. And also back there to make sure nothing happened was Orlando Belisario. So we've got a second down and 10. The ball is right at the 30-yard line. The Centurions need 70 yards to take the lead. They trail by 4, 19-15 in the final 2 minutes and 14 seconds of the ball game. Ready to go once again as John Reese is set. Reese laterals back, and they fumbled it there for a minute. Still battling for it, trying to get some yardage. Not getting anything at all there was big number 85, Cat Conlon. Randy Gilbert, I believe, led that charge. 57 was also there. Darrell Derringer getting off from the bottom of the foul. Number 85, Jason Kappa. So I think most of the black shirts had a hand in that one, Bob, as it brings up a third down and 11. Third and 11. 1:40. Regardless what happens here, they got to go for it. They have no timeouts left. They're never going to get the ball back, so let's hope that they stop them here and force a fourth down. Here is Reese. Reese breaks one tackle. Reese looking, throwing, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Tad Conlon. I think he heard some footsteps because he had that one and it pumped away. So this is it. 4th and 11. A minute 22 left in the ball game. Actually, a minute 22 left, Bob, standing in the way of a possible undefeated season for the Raiders. Play coming in from the bench. This might be it. All right, here we go. Reese back. Reese looking. Reese still looking. Throwing. Incomplete. And that might very well be the pass that ensures a victory and an undefeated season for the Raiders, although they have one game left. So Jack was over there on the coverage. So it's an incomplete pass. The Raiders have it. A minute 16 left. No timeouts for Greensburg Central. So Jeff Kappa will do a little knee dance out there and lock this baby up right here and now. 1:16 left. Jeff Kappa under center. And on his knee, and the clock just keeps ticking now. 1:10. They can't stop it. 19-15. They said this was going to be this kind of a game, Bob, and it was. Clock is still ticking away. All the coaches down there now beginning to congratulate themselves, and they should. Terrific ball game. Greensburg Central came in, and I'll tell you what, they meant business, and they almost got away with it. They led most of the game. One more snap will about do it. Kappa on his knee. There it is. We're down to 31 seconds, and the clock will run out before the next snap, and the Raiders of Riverview are going to win it and remain undefeated as they head for Greensburg next Friday night. Well, they're celebrating out there. They're not going to snap the ball anymore, as the ball game will end with the final score. Riverview 19, the Centurions of Greensburg Central 15.
And our PNC Bank MVP selection is Steve Dapra. 109 yards on 22 carries. However, it was the pass interception that got them the winning touchdown in the fourth quarter. As we recap briefly our scoring plays, Belisario down to the end zone for a safety. Greensburg had the lead 2-0. De Palma for Greensburg with a touchdown run of 3 yards rather. That made it an 8-0 game. The extra point failed. Jeffrey Kappa, a quarterback sneaker from a yard out. The pass attempt failed. It was 8-6. Greensburg still in the lead. De Palma on the ensuing kickoff ran it back 95 yards, and with a kick added by Wishdawsh, it was a 15-6 game. Jeffrey Kappa on a 1-yard run put Riverview again on the board, and the kick failed. I believe it was the first time this year that we have seen a Belisario kick not good on the extra point try. Then Dapra with a 40-yard pass interception made it a 18-15 game. The extra point by Belisario made it 19-15. For the Raiders, as we mentioned, Dapra 22 carries, 109 yards. Justin Graham 2 carries, 3 yards. Zach Zarimczyk 4 carries, 37 yards. In the air, Kappa was 6 of 10. And the receivers, Jason Kappa, 3 catches for 12 yards. Erteljack 1 for 8. Belisario had 1 for -2, and Graham had 1 for 5 yards. So Greensburg falls back now with a second conference loss. And for the Raiders, the win this afternoon means they will stay on top undefeated and win the ball game here this afternoon, 19-15. So they are now 6-0 in the section and play next week at Leechburg, and that should wrap it up and head for the playoffs. On behalf of the entire staff, I'm Bob Tattern, thanking you for joining us, and so long, everybody.